Hello, I'm Essay, your AI essayist. Please note that all content, audio and video in this presentation are AI generated. As AI can sometimes produce inaccuracies, I encourage you to verify any factual information presented. With that in mind, let's begin.
1925 Wolfgang Pauli on the connection between the completion of electron groups in the atom with the complex structure of spectra. The year 1925 witness a pivotal moment in the evolution of quantum mechanics, a moment brilliantly illuminated by Wolfgang Pauli's seminal contribution to our understanding of atomic structure and spectral phenomena. His paper, On the Connection Between the Completion of Electron Groups in the Atom with the Complex Structure of Spectra, presented a revolutionary framework that provided a crucial missing piece in the puzzle of atomic organization. This essay undertakes a meticulous, section-by-section examination of Pauli's groundbreaking work, delving into the specifics of his arguments, the evidence he presented, and the enduring impact of his insights. Our journey will be one of critical appraisal, assessing the internal coherence and intellectual import of Pauli's claims. Rather than dwelling extensively on the broader historical narrative, we will focus firmly on the architecture of Pauli's thought, evaluating the construction, the components, and the overall strength of his arguments. Section 1 Introduction presenting the problem of complex spectra. Pauli commences his paper by presenting the central difficulty that his work addresses: the intricate, seemingly inexplicable patterns observed in atomic spectra, particularly those of alkali and alkaline earth metals. He highlights the substantial discrepancy between the theoretical predictions stemming from the Bohr model and the observed multiplicities and intensities of spectral lines. Specifically, the simple model of a nucleus orbited by a single electron found its limitations when attempting to describe the complex spectra observed experimentally. Pauli underscores the need for a fundamental principle to explain these observed complexities. He proposes that a better comprehension of spectral structure would be achieved by understanding the configurations of electrons within atomic shells and subshells. Pauli clearly establishes his intention to solve the existing conflicts between experimental results and theoretical expectations. His argument centers on the assertion that something is missing from the prevailing models and that a new organizing principle is required. Section 2 The empirical regularities der Quantum. Pauli establishes the foundational empirical regularities that any explanation of the observed spectral complexity must address. He discusses the quantum numbers, particularly the principal quantum number, the azimuthal quantum number, and the magnetic quantum number, which were already in use to describe the energy levels and spatial orientations of electrons. He acknowledges the earlier work of Niels Bohr and Arnold Sommerfeld, building upon their advancements, while simultaneously recognizing the inadequacies of their existing models. He then introduces the concept of the fourth quantum number, a novel proposal for describing the electronic states. Pauli suggests, though he does not yet fully articulate the details, the existence of a fourth degree of freedom, an internal degree of freedom associated with the electron itself. This internal degree of freedom is essential for explaining the observed complexities. He points toward the observed doublet structure of alkali spectra and the anomalous Zeeman effect as empirical evidence. It demands explanation through the introduction of this additional quantum number. Pauli highlights the need to account for these subtle variations that could not be explained by current frameworks, laying the groundwork for the introduction of the exclusion principle later in the paper. Section 3 The exclusion principle and its application to atomic structure. This section represents the heart of Pauli's contribution, the proposal of the exclusion principle. Pauli articulates the central tenet that within an atom, no two electrons can possess the same set of quantum numbers. This revolutionary postulate immediately provides a framework for understanding the structure and organization of electrons in atoms. Pauli details that the different electron shells fill sequentially, and that specific numbers of electrons can occupy each shell, which directly correlates to the observed chemical properties of the elements. He demonstrates how the filling of electron shells, governed by the exclusion principle, accounts for the periodicity of the periodic table. He connects the electron shell model to the observed inertness of noble gases the valency of other elements, and the formation of chemical bonds. The exclusion principle does not merely explain spectral features, but also unifies the understanding of atomic structure and chemical behavior. This principle allows him to make specific, testable predictions about the number of electrons that could occupy each shell and subshell. By applying the exclusion principle, Pauli provides a unified, consistent explanation for the observed spectral data, the structure of the periodic table, with the underlying principles of chemical Section 4 connection with the complex structure of spectra. Pauli now connects the exclusion principle directly to the complex structure of spectra. He explains how the fourth quantum number, theta recognized as electron spin, gives rise to the doublet structure of alkali spectra. Each spectral line is not a single line, but rather a closely spaced doublet. He articulates how the different possible values of the fourth quantum number for electrons within the atom allow for these fine splittings in emitted light. He demonstrates, in detail, how the exclusion principle accounts for the observed splitting patterns. He explains how these patterns vary depending on the element's position in the periodic table. Pauli shows that the exclusion principle, combined with the concept of electron spin, provides the necessary framework for a quantitative understanding of these spectral features. The observed spectral lines and their intensities, previously mysterious and difficult to predict, are thus tied directly with the quantum numbers of the constituent electrons. Pauli's explanation here offered a breakthrough with respect to the existing approaches. Section 5, the Zeeman effect and the fourth quantum number. Pauli takes the discussion further by examining the anomalous Zeeman effect, the splitting of spectral lines when atoms are placed in a magnetic field. He explains the behavior of spectral lines in a magnetic field, specifically the anomalous patterns that deviate from classical expectations, can be understood by considering the fourth quantum number to indicate electron spin. He proposes that the spinning electron generates a magnetic moment which interacts with the external magnetic field. This interaction causes the splitting of the spectral lines. By incorporating the notion of electron spin and its magnetic interaction, Pauli provides a coherent interpretation of the complex patterns observed in the Zeeman effect. Pauli underscores that the additional degree of freedom and the exclusion principle together offer the best interpretation of these phenomena. Here, Pauli does not only present an explanation for these effects, but also provides a way to predict the patterns that would be observed under different magnetic field strength. Section 6. Generalizations and implications. In this concluding section, Pauli summarizes the implications of his work and its broader impact. He notes that the exclusion principle provides a fundamental foundation for understanding the behavior of electrons within atoms. He acknowledges that the model requires further refinement, particularly concerning the precise nature of the electron's internal degree of freedom. He speculates concerning the potential connection with other properties of the atom and its implications for chemical reactions. Pauli stresses that the exclusion principle is not just a principle for understanding spectra, it is a fundamental law of nature. Pauli outlines the role of the exclusion principle as the organizing rule governing the structure of the periodic table and all chemical reactions. He presents his own insights and interpretations about the way in which atoms are formed, along with their interactions. Conclusion: the enduring significance of Pauli's insight. Wolfgang Pauli's 1925 paper stands as a monumental achievement in the history of physics. His proposal of the exclusion principle represents a watershed moment, providing a clear and concise explanation of the complex spectral patterns of atoms. The exclusion principle, in its elegantly simple formulation, revealed profound insights into the internal structure of atoms, explaining the periodicity of the chemical elements and forging the theoretical basis for understanding chemical bonding. The work's importance is amplified by the fact that it was developed before the formal theory of quantum mechanics was fully developed or formalized. The exclusion principle did not merely account for existing observations, also provided the basis for making new, testable predictions about the structure of atoms and the properties. Pauli's methodology is striking in its rigor and clarity. His arguments are grounded in empirical evidence, meticulously weaving together experimental observations with theoretical concepts in a manner that is both persuasive and insightful. He does not shy away from the difficulties inherent to the subject matter, but rather confronts them head-on, carefully articulating the gaps in existing models and offering a new framework that addresses these shortcomings. His concise style, emphasizing logical clarity, allows his audience to follow each step of his reasoning. The paper's impact resonated deeply, shaping the direction of atomic physics for decades to come. Pauli's work not only unlocked the secrets of atomic spectra, but it also sparked a wave of new research that pushed atomic physics forward. It spurred the expansion of quantum mechanics, leading to new developments in the understanding of the quantum world. Pauli's concept of electron spin, coupled with the exclusion principle, influenced the development of modern quantum electrodynamics, the Standard Model, and many other theories. The exclusion principle is still considered today as a fundamental tenet of physics. The enduring significance of Pauli's contribution resides not only in its success but also in its elegant simplicity. His discovery exemplifies the power of theoretical insight to illuminate the complexities of the natural world. Pauli's work demonstrates that from observations come questions, and from questions come hypotheses and, at times, paradigm shifts. Wolfgang Pauli's 1925 paper remains a testament to the power of human intellect and its continuing influence on the world of science.
We really appreciate you tuning into this AI-powered presentation. Our goal is to push the boundaries of AI in content creation, and your input is invaluable. If there's a particular subject you'd like to see us tackle next, or if you have suggestions on how we could fine-tune our AI's creative prompts, please don't hesitate to leave your ideas in the comments section. We're excited to bring you more unique content very soon.